Hi, this is Straight A Programming. I'm going to continue to talk about operating systems processes. Today I'm talking about signals. So processes send signals to for communication. Um, like for example, like when you press Control C, it stops a process, so that tells the signal to stop. So it's like communication with processes. So such as inter-process communication. So this is one of the man pages, man 2 signal. It's another one. You can look at that. So, so I developed a program. You go over that. So I use the signal.h library. It's important for managing processes in an operating system. Signals allow processes to communicate with each other. It's good to learn how to control processes by stopping, resuming, terminating. It's essential for developing apps. Signals are a form of inter-process communication, which is a fundamental concept in operating systems. It's good for efficient resource utilization. So this is like a custom function to send a signal up here. So I have the original process when the program's running is the parent process, and this is a signal handler for that process. So sig term is going to stop the process. So and this is a most of the signals are going to be sent to the child process that's created by the parent process. So I'm going to be discussing sig term, sig, and these are sig user one and sig user two are not operating system signals. They are for developers, so you can customize and create functionality with them. And then SIGIN is Control C. So I'm going to demonstrate that at the end. So this is a handler function. Some signals are not be able to be caught. This is like catching a signal. It catches a signal and it tells the process what to do when this signal is sent. Okay, so for these customized ones, it just prints something, but you can have it run programs or have it do other things. So you have to set up. So basically, I create a fork, which creates the child process. So now you have two processes running. So this is the child process. In the child process, you have to set up. You got to set up the signals like this signal, and this is in the library, the signal.h library, sig terms, and then each of the signals, and then the name of the function handler that's going to handle the signals. That's going to and that's I already just showed it to you up there. So sig term stops a process, but it's going to ignore it when I go back up there and show that. So so it's going to catch it, and instead of exiting like down here, it's just going to just continue, which is do nothing. It's going to exit that switch statement, and so it's going to just keep printing. Is what's going to happen. Um, the child process is just running, and so sigterm should stop it, but it's not. It's going to keep running because the that's how it handled it. The function. This is the parent process that sets up a sig term. Now I created a send signal function that's going to send sig term to the child process to this function. Um, so it was the first function up there, and so right there, so it takes the signal and it's going to stop. Okay, it's gonna it's going to send it. Um, Now when it sends it, when it says send sig term, the child process is going to ignore it. Okay, so that's how it's handled. So when you set it up in the child process, um, so sig term after this is going to keep running because the child function handler process function handler caught it. Now it sends sig stop. Sig stop is not catchable. So when it sends it into the customized function, it's going to stop it. And I print out some stuff to show it stopped. And now, actually, this the sig the sig stop and sig continue. This can be used for pause and resume mechanisms. These two right here. So so after it stops, the parent process is going to send to the sig cont. And so don't get it confused. It's sending the parent process is sending it to this first function. Okay. And child function handler, because it's his PID, that's the child's PID that's being sent. The child process has a PID that's being sent by the original process. It's going to handle each of these. But since sigstop is not catchable, it's not going to it's going to stop the child process. The child process is not able to do anything but stop. Now, sig continue resumes the stop process. So when sig for not the only one, sig stop, you can there's other functions that would stop the process, and this would continue it. So this is like a pause and resume mechanism. And so I demonstrate the parent process sending these two customized, and like I said, these are developer signals. These aren't operating system signals. So um, these are created for people that are writing code, developers, and I demonstrate. They just print something out and it handles it, and then I also at the very end, to see when this continues, the child process that while loop is going to keep running. Um, so to stop it, I send a sig int. That's control C. Control C is sig int, and so the child process is running the while loop right here after continue after the um, it's going to be running this while loop right here and print this child process is running, and I'm going to stop it I press control C, and that sends a signal sig int signal to the child process, and then the child process is going to exit after printing it. Normally control C just stops it, but I'm using a function handler to catch it and observe behavior, like so we can observe it what it's doing. So that's already compiled it. So there's the while loop. Child process is running. So the parent process sets sig term, but the child process received the sig term, and because it caught it, the function handler caught it, it ignores it. So now it's sending sig stop, which is not catchable, and the child process is stopped now because that's not catchable. Now the parent process is sending sig continue to the child process, and the child process keeps running. And now the parent process is sending this signal, and which is a developer signal, and it just prints out. That's all it's doing is printing it out, and then sig USR2, it just prints it out. That's what it's how it's handled when it catches it. That's what the action that is doing. So now, when I press Control C, I'm going to send a signal sig int to the child process. It's going to handle it, print something out, and then stop like normal. Normally it would just stop. Now, so Control C is being pressed. Child receives sig int because and so the child process stopped. So that's how the signals. There's a lot of different types of signals that you can practice with. That gives you an idea how they work. Um, it's important for operating systems programming. Thank you.